My voice was stolen, my diary forged, and my life handed to his perfect fiance. Now, trapped in a motel room with hired men sent to make me disappear, I must find a way to scream the truth before Alexander Sterling believes their lies and lets them destroy me forever. Hello everyone, this is Drama Lab, let the story begin. The leather-bound diary felt heavy in my hands, its pages whispering secrets that could destroy my life. I found it tucked beneath Alexander Sterling's pillow. My diary, stolen months ago when I lost my voice. Now, its pages were filled with Vivian's perfect cursive, meticulously copying my most intimate thoughts about Alexander during his years of blindness. She hadn't just stolen my identity, she'd weaponized my own words. I was Sophie Miller, the housekeeper's mute daughter, living unseen in the Sterling mansion's shadowed wing. He was Alexander Sterling, the heir who once found solace in my silent presence during his own darkness. Then he regained his sight, and saw only Vivian Lancaster. One rain-lashed night, heavy with the scent of bourbon, Alexander mistook me for her. His hands were rough, possessive, whispering Vivian against my skin. I tried to push him away, my throat tightening around silent screams, but my strength was nothing against his drunken need. The moonlight cut through the blinds like shards of glass as he took what wasn't offered, his touch a brand of betrayal. When he collapsed into sleep, I fled, my torn dress clutched like armor. Weeks later, nausea clawed at me. 2 pink lines confirmed my terror. I carried Alexander Sterling's child. My mother, Mrs. Miller, saw the test. Her face paled. "You must leave, Sophie. Vivian will bury you for this." But I hesitated. A dangerous, foolish part of me still remembered the gentle man who'd held my hand in the dark. Then Vivian struck. At a family brunch I'd prepared, she clutched her throat, gasping dramatically. "Peanuts," she rasped, pointing at the pastries I made. She tried to kill me. Panic seized the room. Alexander's face turned to stone, his eyes glacial when they found mine. He didn't wait for my frantic signing. He dragged me to his car, his grip like iron manacles. "Where are you taking me?" I mouthed, terror icing my veins. Finishing what should never have started, he spat, the sterile scent of the approaching hospital corridor stinging my nose. "That thing inside you. It dies today." I fought like a wild thing in the cold prep room, scratching, kicking, a silent animal cornered. Nurses held me down as Alexander watched, his expression unreadable. "It's for the best, Sophie. Vivian deserves peace." His words were the final knife twist. As the anesthetic burned through my fore, the last thing I saw was the cold overhead light, a merciless, unblinking eye. My child, my hope, extinguished. Recovery was a grey fog. Mother, her face etched with new lines, packed our few belongings. "We're leaving, Sophie. Before Vivian ensures we disappear permanently." We fled to a cramped apartment downtown, ghosts in our own city. I found work at a small design firm, burying my grief in spreadsheets and silence. I thought I was safe. I was wrong. One evening, walking home, a van screeched to the curb. Rough hands yanked me inside, a sickly sweet cloth smothering my face. Darkness swallowed me. I woke bound on a lumpy mattress in a decaying motel room. The Red Rooster, a flickering neon sign outside the grimy window, screamed. 3 men leered over me, their conversation chillingly casual. "Boss lady paid extra for us to have fun first," sneered the one with a rattlesnake tattoo coiling up his neck. Said a mute can't tell tales. His calloused hand grabbed my thigh. I bucked violently, a raw, soundless cry tearing from my throat. Vivian. She'd hired them. Not just to remove me, but to destroy me. As Rattlesnake fumbled with his belt, the door exploded inward. Alexander stood framed in the doorway, his expression a hurricane of rage and relief. His security team moved like shadows, disarming the thugs with brutal efficiency. Alexander was at my side in an instant, cutting my bonds, his coat enveloping me, smelling faintly of cedar and safety. "Sophie," his voice cracked, raw with an emotion I couldn't name. "God, Sophie, I'm so sorry." Later, in his penthouse overlooking the city's glittering indifference, he played me a recording. Snippets of conversation, secretly captured. Vivian's voice, sharp and vicious, admitting everything to her mother, stealing my diary, poisoning my tea to steal my voice, framing me for the peanut allergy, ordering my abduction. Make her unclean mother, Vivian hissed on the tape. Alexander discards damaged things. He flinched at the words, his hand tightening on mine. I was blind, Sophie. Not just before, but after. I let her poison me against you. He handed me a stack of medical reports. Dr. Evans in Hartford. He's the best ENT specialist on the East Coast. He believes he can repair your vocal cords. Hope, fragile and terrifying, flickered within me. Could I trust him? Could I trust this lifeline? The ghost of my lost child stood between us, a silent accusation. Yet, the memory of his desperate fight to reach me at the motel ward with the image of him in the hospital corridor. The conflict was a physical pain. The specialist in Hartford was cautiously optimistic. The damage is severe, Ms. Miller, Dr. Evans explained, pointing to intricate scans. Singing is likely out of the question. But intelligible speech, with intensive therapy, it's possible. Alexander attended every session, his presence a constant, silent anchor in the sterile room. He never pressured me, only offered quiet support, his eyes holding a depth of regret that words couldn't convey. Slowly, painstakingly, sounds began to form, raspy, unfamiliar, but mind star. Alex. I croaked one afternoon, the name scraping my healing throat. He froze, tears welling in his eyes for the first time since I'd known him. Sophie, he breathed, pulling me gently into an embrace that felt like both sanctuary and surrender. Hearing your voice, it's everything. Back in the city, the Sterlings struck. At Alexander's father's gala, society vipers circled, their words dripping venomous honey about gold-digging mutes and inevitable divorces. Alexander silenced them with icy fury, publicly declaring my co-ownership of his empire. Later, confronting his father's complicity in the humiliation, Alexander's voice was steel. She is my wife. Disrespect her again, and you lose your son. We left the gala, the weight of their disdain replaced by a fragile understanding. That night, I placed the positive pregnancy test in his hand. He stared at it, trembling, raw joy and profound terror warring on his face. Sophie, are you? Is this? He sank to his knees, pressing his forehead against my stomach, his shoulders shaking with silent sobs. I swear. I'll protect you both. With everything I am. Vivian's trial was swift. Seeing her led away in handcuffs, her carefully constructed facade crumbling, brought no triumph, only a hollow echo of the pain she'd inflicted. Justice, it seemed, was a cold comfort. Months later, Alexander transformed the secluded Sterling Cove estate, our sanctuary during his blindness. He planted endless crimson roses where my mother's vegetable patch once thrived, and rebuilt the old porch swing. One starlit evening, amidst the intoxicating perfume of the blooms, he knelt, a simple platinum band gleaming in his palm. Marry me, Sophie Miller, he said, his voice thick. Let me spend a lifetime earning your trust. This time, my yes was a clear, raspy whisper, carried away on the rose-scented breeze. Our son arrived on a stormy September dawn, his indignant cries shattering the tense silence of the delivery room. Alexander wept unashamedly, cradling the tiny, furious bundle with awestruck reverence. Exhausted, I watched them, the man who shattered me, now piecing us back together with infinite care. He mastered midnight feedings and diaper changes with fierce determination, whispering promises to our son that echoed through the quiet nights. We protect mommy, little man. Always. One such night, jolted awake by the baby's cries, I saw Alexander stumble from bed instantly, scooping up our son before the first full wail could form. Shush, champ, he murmured, swaying gently in the dim nursery light. Mommy needs her sleep. She's our brave girl. He padded out, his low voice a comforting rumble fading down the hall. Let's let her rest. We've got this. I drifted back to sleep, the ghosts of the past momentarily stilled by the rhythmic sound of a father's quiet devotion and his son's soft, contented sighs in the dark. The war wasn't over, but in that fragile peace, amidst the scent of baby powder and roses lingering from the garden below, redemption felt possible, one whispered promise, one fragile dawn at a time. The diary was closed, its pages heavy with the past, but our story, scarred and hopeful, was still being written.